I've been on the quest to cure my love addiction, and some helpful thoughts that came to my mind recently were if I stop living by this god of romance and spending so much time dedicated to pining, searching, yearning, thinking about finding the one or my person, what could I make space for if that wasn't somewhere my mind always goes when it has a free moment? You know what I mean? Like, it's such. And another helpful thought I had this week was, whose rules am I living by? Because if I'm miserable, okay, and I'm not always miserable when I'm dating, but the cycle of something starts, it goes well at first, and then something happens and I'm discouraged. That cycle has become very draining, and then the restart and the search and the having to answer the questions and I just start to not, like, my heart isn't really in it, but I also enjoy the benefits, which is, I like meeting people, I like nice dates, I like trying new things, going new places, doing activities. Part of me is an extrovert, part of me likes the thrill of it all. And I also am trying to recognize that and make space for the dichotomy. But it's also like, I want to make space for the dichotomy, but I also want to suffocate that little part of me at the same time, a lot of the time. And I don't know if that's good. And then I saw a video today that was saying we spend so much time actually ignoring our shame, thinking that we're healing, but we're actually just trying to fix ourselves. And that's something I need to sit with. Because, I was raised Catholic. You're not supposed to give in to your humanity. So maybe that's still in my... But it's not, though, because I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I have a this and a that, a push and a pull of the angel and devil on my shoulder, but I don't know if the angel's lying to me and the devil is my friend. Like, I don't know whose God I'm living by. I don't know whose rules I'm following really deep down that's so infringed in our society of, like, do I really, really want a partner because that's human connection and it's natural for us to want a partner? Or is it because I grew up really lonely? I grew up as an only child to a single mother who wanted to be alone a lot and wouldn't let me have friends over, really? Or is it because I never felt desirable growing up in a PWI, even though now people who are my type will tell me that I am very desirable, but how many times do I need to hear that before it feels like I don't need to hear it again and it'll do something for me? Because if I hear that again, it still will do something for me. And so am I just searching for that? And do I just get the validation from, oh, this person took me out to this nice... That being said, I do think effort translates into interest. So it's hard to tell what's the right reasons and what's the wrong reasons, because they're overlapping a lot. And I know that a lot of it for me is like chasing that validation and also doing some, like, when I went to college, I started dating a lot because I was so sheltered and I wasn't really allowed to date freely in my high school years. So I needed that validation that I felt like I got only rejection up until that point. And it's like, when you grow up like that, that is really in your psyche, and you are going to be validated by attention and by dating. But it's like, if I were to let go of that, what could I make space for? Would it be better? Would it be... But I also don't want to, like, I know that people are always like, oh, when you stop looking, that's when you find it. Phrases like that, shove it up your... Because I have mild OCD and I have anxiety, and thoughts about... People don't understand thoughts about, like, patience in the future. They are not translating the way you think they are when you're talking to somebody who has obsessive and compulsive thoughts. Because I can't even imagine the future right now. I'm so busy obsessing over all the different things that have happened in my past, or that I maybe said wrong in a certain thing, or if this thing is gonna cause this bad thing to happen, and my brain will hammer it into my head. Not all the time, like I said, it's mild, but when I'm not my best, it hammers the same harmful, hurtful, painful thought into my head over and over and over and over again. And so the future doesn't give me any sort of solace when, I don't know, I feel like that's just such a, okay, maybe if you're a healthy person who can really, really always believe that everything happens for a reason and all good things, and I have my mantras and I say it, okay, and I'm trying to work towards it, and like ladder thoughts and whatever. But if you're the kind of person that's like, oh, whatever, they come when they come, good for you. Good for you. Most people, that phrase, oh, they come when you least expect it, that does nothing for me. I wish it did. And I'm sure it's true. But I'm always hyper vigilant about everything, so this whole least expected thing is just like not something I see. My radar is always on for everything all the time. And then also being somebody who's like a Pisces romantic, yes, I'm always like open to love, even though I want to, but then I want to close myself off because I have that push and pull, and part of me is like, you know what, I don't want to mess with love anymore, I don't want to date. But then I'm like, oh, dating's fun though, because it can be, and it can be painful, and I can regret it. And then so I've struggled with the, oh, but I regret this, oh, but this was fun, oh, but I regret this, okay, well, I never want to do it again, okay, well, I feel like part of me feels like it is a waste of time. It can be a waste of time. And so what could I have done with that time? That's the question I'm starting to ask myself, in addition to whose rules am I living by. I did write myself a list of rules that I will share on here, and I'm still adding to. It's not done yet because I still need to just sit down and figure my life out. But I think I just need a new set of guidelines for myself and virtues and values to almost like reprogram my brain, because I don't think I'm living by the God of my best interest. Not in a selfish, way, or in a gross way. And here's the thing, I believe in God, I believe in a power and an energy. I don't believe in like necessarily the fully Catholic God that I was taught. I have my own ideas, obviously. I don't really believe in the Bible very much at all. Like, it's just some stories, I don't know. I believe in God. However, I also think a lot of what we've been programmed to worship as our God in society, even in church, is still not real God. It's capitalistic God. It's government God. It's how can we serve the community, not the community, the government and the higher ups and the people who consider their pockets the greater good. How can we serve them? That's not real God, right? So, false gods, all these things, whatever. So just trying to it's so hard for me to distinguish what is me and what is that. What is me and what is the programming and the fabric of the societal lies and societal pressures and all that. Like, how are you meant to set, especially, and I've been trying to think about this way more for myself lately. Like, I'm a very absorbent person. Like, I was a sponge as a kid. I was impressionable. Movies affected me. TV shows really affected me. There was a time when I was really into like white nerdy boys with glasses who were like tall and lanky and skinny when I was 14, because that was like the time of Diary of a Wimpy Kid and like Fun Size and all these rules that had, or maybe it was the guy from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, actually. Maybe it wasn't Diary of a Wimpy Kid. But he was still a wimpy man. And he was like the star of the movie. I cannot remember his name, but his type too. And like Nat Wolff, and that just like the lanky, like smart loner guy was being pushed down our throats as a romantic interest. And my Pisces brain took that and went, oh, okay, copy. But nobody liked me, because this was at the time when being mixed wasn't cool yet. And I was literally the only black kid in my Catholic high school, in my Catholic elementary school. I switched schools halfway through and went to a public high school, and so there was some more black people. I had my first boyfriend, all this stuff. And that was the first time where I was like, oh, some people may like me, whatever. But other than that, I felt like very unwanted for a very long time. And I don't think people talk about the switch of that enough and how you are meant to deal with that, because so much of what we're doing is like overcompensation. And so how are you supposed to navigate that in tandem with, okay, well, it's not inhuman to want someone. That's very human. And it is exhausting. So how can I make it more fun and not exhausting, or take it off my plate, or not look at it as a task? Because I'm such an all or nothing person, though, is the thing. So I don't really do anything half-heartedly. Like, if I like someone, I like someone. If I don't like someone, I don't like someone. If we're talking, we're talking. And I want to be talking and seeing each other. I don't want to see someone once and then talk here and there and maybe see them again in a month, and then talk here and there and maybe again in 2 months, maybe. Like, I'm not on that wave at all, because it shouldn't take all day to recognize sunshine, but it's dark in here. I don't know. Please share your frustrations and struggles in the comments to make me feel better. Please. Thank you. Love you. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.